Take us in there. Take us into the trenches. This is an area where people struggle. You said I guess you're speaking from on the other side of it. You like, no, it took a little back and forth to get on the same page, but man, people are struggling to get on the same page. Now you came like you was like pressing in on Brandon when y'all came to the crib. Now, like day one of marriage, Brandon, where is all this interest coming from, man? And y'all had to work through that. And you all did work through that, but help people listening who are not on the same page. How did you all get through the initial emotions and come together with this plan? Because it seems like there's a lot of layers to you all's plan. And so that sounded like it took a whole lot of communication to get there. So help those people understand how to make this work, how to get on the same page.
Well, I think for us, for me, it was about the end goal. We definitely want to have financial freedom and, have generational wealth for our children. So with me hearing that, and that's something that's always been my passion growing up for my family, it was easy for me just to get in line. Like, okay, whatever you say, I'll do it. Okay.
From a structures perspective, though, we had a Sunday, so we would go to church on Sunday morning. We'd have dinner, and then we had a budget meeting every week for the first maybe 6 months of marriage. And in our meeting, we would sit down and discuss our budget. We would also talk about like how much we're going to send to debt. Oh, maybe should we pivot a little this month? So our budget definitely, I think one thing that's been very helpful for us is, so we use the Every Dollar app. But we transitioned to like multiple different budget sheets in terms of like, I was very stuck on the budget has to be the same every month. And that's just not the reality. And so once we kind of made that pivot and had like more fruitful budget conversations every week, that was kind of like, those budget meetings are definitely what kind of got us to our goals. And now we don't have a budget meeting every week. We really don't have one every month. We just kind of have one when we need it. And that is the thing that continues to push us and drive us forward. I think the other thing is we looked at where can we cut back? Like Brandon is an amazing cook, and we are not going to sacrifice like him, getting out there on the grill or us going out to eat. But there were areas where we were just like, we don't have to spend this much money on X, Y, and Z, but if it brings us joy and it's in the budget, we're going to do it.
I love this because a lot of people think that you have to follow these steps. You got to do it this way. You can't have any creativity. You can't have any flexibility. You just got to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you all decided to personalize. Come on, listen, everybody. Y'all heard Ty and I say this 10 million times, 11 times. Personal finance is personal before it's financial. And so you have to start with the end in mind. And that's what it sounds like you all are sharing with us, that you all began with a vision for what you want life to be like. And you use that vision to come back to present day and craft a plan. Help us understand how you all came up with this blended approach, because some people say focus heavily on debt payoff first. Some people say focus heavily on getting your money invested first. And you all are doing all of the above. You're thinking and you're doing things to get out of debt. You're thinking and you're doing things to save up a down payment for a house. You're thinking and doing things about investing. So talk to us about those conversations and how you decided to let each of those factor into your plan for financial freedom.
So we were really passionate about, I love what Dave Ramsey puts out. I think it's great, but I took the class maybe 6 years ago, Financial Peace with our church. And I just did not feel like it made sense to pay off all of my student loans at the same time. And the way my parents handled money was they invested, they didn't have debt, but I saw good money practices growing up, and that just did not make sense to me. So our whole kind of what we share with all of our family and friends is we are going to do what aligns to where we want to be long term. So we did continue to invest We also moved, we had money with a company that was managing it. And we said, no, we're going to read, we're going to learn, we're going to study. And now we manage it on our own because we were losing money to fees. But we just really decided that there was no approach that was exactly right for us. And that's how we came up with the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, because we thought about what do we want to do long-term and short-term, and we're smart enough to get us there. And we have access to people like you all, and to hear, there were so many stories that we heard of people kind of doing it independently and doing it their own way. And after reading a few books and some podcasts, that was all we needed.
Yeah, so talk about that. Talk about your way in paying down this $30,000. Did you guys use a debt snowball? Or did you pay highest interest rate first? And then talk about your investing strategy. Are you guys investing in index funds, or talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we started off with the snowball approach, but to be honest, we kind of did a mix. Like, we handled the consumer debt very differently than we're handling the student loans. So initially we organized everything by interest rates, but we also kind of paid off what we felt like was feasible, and back to this like idea of what would bring us joy and feeling like we're like accomplishing our goals quick enough. And then on the investing side, we, follow simple path to wealth. We follow all of the like general knowledge on index funds. So we did have some like stocks. The old portfolio had stuff that didn't align to where we wanted to go, but we did kind of keep that there because we looked at the percentages and how it grew previously, but moving forward, all the new money that we put in, we kind of followed the path of index funds.